All right, guys, good morning. Good morning. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of GAR Capital. It is Monday, June 5th, 2023. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to join me this morning and every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on our YouTube channel. If you are new to the channel, make sure to hit the like button if you like these videos. Subscribe to our channel, turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. As you know, the schedule pretty much runs the same. Morning notes every morning at 9 a.m. And then we have our recap of the week of our trades on Friday. If you missed that video on Friday, it is on our YouTube channel. Feel free to take a look at it and go over our positions. I apologize if the actual quality isn't the best. I've been checking it. It's kind of hit or miss. I had to do iMovie with this one this time. So when it comes to actually doing the video on the recap, it's not live. This one is live. So when it comes to live videos, the quality is hit or miss. It's not my computer or anything. It's really just YouTube. And I use the OBS recorder. But again, I apologize for the quality not being the best sometimes. But sometimes they usually, for the most part, it tends to be pretty good. At least 720 or above. But yeah, just wanted to give you guys the heads up on that. So again, welcome aboard. It is Monday. It is a new week. Post a couple of things this weekend. Twitter, all the news and updates are there. And if you are on the video today, make sure to type in the live chat window if you have any questions. Let's go ahead and get started. Dow futures down 23 points. NASDAQ down about 9. I'm still long NASDAQ futures. My stop did not get hit. Got pretty close, but did not. S&P 500 futures are green. Russell down 0.41%. Crude oil up 2.5% with the OPEC cuts. Word is that Saudi Arabia is not happy that the other countries are still producing, even though they're trying to stabilize oil prices. 73.62, that's where we are currently. We know the drill. Above 80, we can talk about going long, but until then, nothing has really changed. Let's go ahead and take a look at crude together. Let's go to crude oil. We'll go to the weekly to give us a little bit more of an idea. You can see that we keep bouncing off that 200 weekly moving average. That's the same moving average that we hit for S&P 500 futures when we called the low in October. It was the same level. So not a bad place, I guess, once you tap that 200 to go long. Maybe if we get another crack at it, we may be able to do it. But again, I still want to get above 80 before we do anything. Really 85. That's your 100 weekly MA. Gasoline futures up 2.5%, $2.56. Gold futures are down this morning. If you remember, we played gold last week long. Now we're getting a pullback into gold. Nothing really to trade, honestly. We need to get it below 1930. If we do, then we can see about trading gold again for 2 weeks in a row. Silver futures down 1.12%. Euro dollar down 24 pips, 106.81. 140.18 for the dollar yen. That's up 20 pips. 123.77 on the pound dollar, down 80. Bitcoin futures down. Not a lot of love on Bitcoin, as all the love is going to the NASDAQ and AI stocks. 26,710. 1871 for Ethereum. Best bet there is to just dollar cost average. 3.743% on a 10-year note. 10-year bond, excuse me. The dollar is bouncing a little bit this morning. 104.34. 104.99 is the next resistance. We'll keep an eye on that. If we do break out of that, then I'm going to have to go straight into the Forex side and see what we can do. VIX, volatility index, we talked about that in terms about how compressed the VIX is. 1410, that's the low from 2021. We are up this morning about 3%. Would I buy VIX here? No, I think the best bet is that we have a gap to fill here at 1465. There's a question here from Alonzo regarding Qs. I have 355 as the break for the level, and we have one more gap to fill at 359.63. Overextended on a short term, sure, but not, oh my God, overbought either. We still have that gap to fill at 359.96. That'll be my target for Qs, Alonzo. Once that fills, then we should be able to pull back a little bit back to that 350 level. But the Qs still have a little more room in terms of trekking. May not be just today, again, over time. Tesla, Soothing Sounds is asking. Again, we talked about this wedge breakout, that 200-day moving average. I still have the signal contracts, the 220s. We're now at 217.64. I may just take it this morning and leave a runner. I think it's at 40% right now. We hit as high as 115 on those calls last week. Most of them pretty much got it, but once we break 220, we're going to keep an eye on this gap fill on the daily chart right around 260, 192. That's more than likely where we're going to go. So we'll keep an eye on Tesla. Want to get above 220. If it does, then we could play 240s to 260s, so on and so forth. But definitely Tesla is something that I am watching personally. Let's go to Apple, near all-time highs. The WWDC is this week, the Worldwide Developer Conference. We're now trading at 182.76, 182.94 is your all-time high. Happy shareholder, as most people are. Apple's a great company to own. I've owned them for years. Once you get to all-time highs, could we break out of it? Absolutely. I don't think there's any point in saying that it can't go higher, because it probably will. 192.58, that would be your next level higher. That's the next fib extension level that we'll be watching. So again, we'll see if we break 182.94. I traded it personally. I did not signal this one. We were just really heavy tech. I have the 182.50s on that, so I'm in the money. I'll probably keep an eye on it, take the profits this morning. Nothing wrong with that, and leave a runner. But that's probably what I would do this morning. In terms of what I have open, let's take a look at Boeing this morning. Again, playing that weekly 200-day. We are now above it slightly. We're right below it, 213.30. We rejected it slightly. We closed below it, but again, I expect that to break. 220 is the target I'm looking for this week on Boeing. Again, we can bring up the daily. You can see that little air pocket to 220. That could be resistance, but at least we'll test it, and we'll see what we get from there. Meta was upgraded today, I believe, by Oppenheimer. So again, we're really just targeting that 280 level on, actually 288.95 on Metaverse, Facebook. That's a gap to fill on the daily. Micron is something I'm watching as well. They were upgraded as well, I think, by Jeffries. I may be wrong, but I did tweet that out. Above 70, we got a little more room, possibly around these areas, 71 to 72. I want to keep it close. Maybe buy some time, we'll see. But again, we can catch that momentum. It is not a short week, so at least that. Palantir, again, just all consolidation. You can see on the daily still we got a little more room to run. We got as much as 23.93. At least in the aggregate term. So again, I expect us to bounce and use this yellow line here as support as we broke out of it, 14.69. We're kind of hovering around there. So really just more consolidation than anything. As you can see, we are on the top end of the range on the hourly. So really nothing to worry about. It's really just watching and waiting for the most time. And I also have Disney for next week. To the put side, it's at 91.19. Level of resistance is 91.45. We'll put 91.50, and it's still a downtrend. So again, even if we get a pullback or something, Disney should at least get some volatility to the downside, as it is showing more downside action. And if we don't catch this, fine. That means the stock market is up, and we'll just catch the call. So we'll just play it by ear. But again, that is for next week. Keeping an eye on Apple. Keeping an eye on Tesla. I'm keeping an eye on ETRN. That's the name that we traded last week with that unusual options activity. The $10 strike for October and January, they were picking up. They were upgraded by JP Morgan, or Morgan Stanley, excuse me. We do have a downside gap to fill down at $6. I put the note out from Bloomberg talking about that inside trading on ETRN. Thankfully, we caught it. We got as much as $10. That's our level. Once we break out of that, then you got up to 11. Maybe 11.52 if we continue to the yearly highs. We are still above the 200-week moving average. We talked about how important that is. So again, 868, that's probably the level of support on this name. We will see what we get moving forward, but I do have calls on ETRN long term just due to the volume. And that is it for the day so far. We will see what we get this morning. It is Monday. So take your time. We know the drill. It's a new week. Last week is over. No need to talk about it. It's time to look forward. Let's see if we can make it a great trading Monday. Have a great rest of your day, guys. We will see you guys tomorrow for the morning note, and we'll see you then. Cheers.